In this video, I'm going to show you a tour of our mulch gardens, and I'm going to share my opinion on what I think about mulch gardening after our first year. With my coffeeless coffee, I'm going to show you guys my mulch garden this morning. Here are the chickies, they're out and about, early bird gets the worm. If you're trying to quit drinking coffee or caffeine, check out this recipe for coffeeless coffee on my page. I've been going strong without a cup of coffee for about 4 months now, and I've been really enjoying this beverage. This right here is my smaller mulch garden. We use this one for growing blueberry plants and other types of berry plants. Those pots contain strawberry plants, and I'm hoping to proliferate them in order to really have a yield next year. Let's go ahead and walk out to the main garden. Right here we have a bit of a mess. We are working on finishing this chicken coop to make it look a little nicer than it currently does. We have lots of DIY projects around here. And here are the chickies following me early this morning. The one in the middle is one of my favorites. Her name is Princess. Alright, let's go back over here to our garden. So this right here is our main mulch garden. It's 20 by 30 feet, and we've worked all spring long to be able to put it in. You can see my fence around my garden is a little rinky-dinky, but that's because we are working with quite a bit of a budget and we did not want to spend a whole ton of money on fencing. And the chickies are trying to follow me into the garden, so I'm going to close this fence so they could just watch from the outside, because once they come in, it's hard to get them out. So this mulch garden was established by me because I wanted an easy garden method, because I am a mom to a toddler that I plan to homeschool, and I didn't want to spend all my time in the garden. I definitely want to teach her many things about self-sufficiency and just how the world works, but I also wanted to have time in order to do leisurely activities that don't just involve gardening. This right here is my squash patch. This is the result of a little bit of chaos gardening that I did later in the spring. Basically, what happened was I tried to put in a bunch of starter plants like this corn, and a lot of them took and it worked out, but some of them got eaten by pests. I do suspect earwigs, but it really could be anything. Patch is some spinach that I have growing. I basically dropped a seed, and somehow the seeds that you drop grow better than the seeds that you intentionally plant. And this space here in the garden doesn't seem to have a lot of plants. I did harvest some beets, turnips, and radishes, but as you can see, it is pretty bare. But take a look at the soil. As I step down into the mulch, it literally sinks down. That's because the soil is becoming aerated as organisms are moving throughout it. So if you could see, when I'm walking, my feet sink down in certain areas. That's because all those bugs and all those moles and good critters for the garden are aerating my soil. I'm so excited for the health of my soil, and I know my mulch garden is going to do better next year. So yesterday, my daughter and I, we actually went out and we harvested some beets. And as you could see, that's my little daughter, my 3-year-old. She's going to have no problem just yanking the beet out of the ground, and take a good look at that nice looking beet. I've come up with plenty of these, and I've been juicing them, sauteing them. They are amazing. I will be definitely growing more next year. Here's another one. One thing that I love about this form of gardening is the fact that you could check up on some of your root vegetables before pulling them out by removing a little bit of mulch off the top. So my verdict is that I love mulch gardening, and I'm going to do it again next year. The weeding has been minimal. I've only weeded like maybe 3 times, and I've really enjoyed the whole process, even though it has been laborious to initially set it up. You're still here hanging out with me. I'm going to show you my herb boxes. I repurposed some old fluorescent light cases, and I use them to grow my herbs in, and they have looked better because my chickens decide to roost in some of the slots. They really do have the good life around here. You know, a lot of people tried to talk us out of mulch gardening for many reasons, but our biggest reason for trying it was the fact that we live on very rocky soil, and I could not see myself tilling a 20 by 30 foot garden or having lots of raised beds with lots of soil in them. We are going to do raised beds, but mulch gardening is definitely going to be our primary method of growing food. People say a lot about how Bermuda grass and other types of invasive weeds might overgrow your garden, about how there will be nutrient deficiencies and nitrogen depletion and all this scary stuff, but I'm here to tell you that mulch gardening works. Now, you do have to put a little bit of effort into it, but in my opinion, I think that it is less effort than other forms of gardening, and it's just one of those things that's going to age like fine wine. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for gardening, food, and food allergen-friendly lifestyle.